Brewers Log July 17th, 2023. So tonight we managed to get some of the cider bottled and all of the kombucha bottled. So we have 6 bottles of green tea kombucha, 6 bottles of black tea kombucha, and we have 2 1-liter bottles of brown sugar that was started on the June 3rd. There are 3 of the 16-ounce bottles that are full, and 1 that is up to the label of the brown sugar started on the 3rd. Then I have the same for the brown sugar started on the 21st. It has 2 1-liter bottles, and then I have 3 of the 16 and 1 up to the label. And then for the Turbunado sugar, we have 2 1-liter bottles and 3 of the 16-ounce bottles, and 1 that is up to the top of the label. So I was able to get quite a bit out of those. I decided to go with the 1-liter bottles because those are the ones I'll most likely take to helping hops, along with probably taking a couple extra of the small bottles. That way I've got, since we're doing tastings and we're just pouring it out, I don't need to have lots of small bottles. Having several of the big bottles I think will make it that much easier. The hope is tomorrow night we will bottle the other 3, and for right now I have left the Scoobies in the jugs with a little bit of tea in each. That should last at least a week or 2 without having to do anything to it. And after maybe a week or 2, I will add another cup or 2 of water to it to make sure that they're well hydrated. And I may end up having to add some sugar to it to just keep them alive. But since right now we've got a lot of kombucha bottles, because down here I've got kombucha in the fridge, and then we got kombucha here. So we're good on kombucha for at least a little bit. Though we will probably take some of the kombucha with us to the helping hops, and if anyone asks about the kombucha, we will end up letting them have some trials of that, along with having the cider there with us. So that's what got done today. I was hoping more, but at least that got half of the ciders done, and hopefully tomorrow we'll get the rest of the other half done. Oh, the other thing is that all of the ciders have, or all the 16-ounce bottles have a teaspoon of Turbunado sugar in them, and the 1-liter bottles have 2 teaspoons of Turbunado sugar in them. So hopefully over the next week they will carbonate up nicely. The 3 here in the front, I believe, are the ones that are only up to the label. Those are going directly in the fridge, and I will drink them. I think one of them I put sugar into, the rest are not. So I don't really care if they're carbonated as much, but we figured since when we tasted the brown sugars side by side, the what we've got labeled here as BS21, and was definitely more dry than the BS3 was. So we think the carbonation will make it so that you really don't even tell the difference between them. But yes, the BS21 and the TS21, because we tried a little bit of it next to the TS3, and they're definitely more dry than, there's a little more sweetness left to the BS3 and the TS3. So running them on the mat, or at least for as long as we did, they definitely came out drier. But overall, only if you had them side by side would you notice the difference between them. Overall, their flavors are very much similar. The only difference is that there's a little less sweetness to the 21 than there is to the 3, but it's not dramatic either. So they all came out good so far, and we'll find out tomorrow when we do the honeys on how well they came out too. But that'll be for later. Good night.